Hello and welcome to So Many Games, independent video game coverage from a group of passionate people. My name is Jason and thanks for joining me as we take a look at some of the demos that were featured in this year's LudoNarraCon. This is an annual festival held on Steam and run by the game publisher fellowtraveller. Concentrating on narrative games, their aim is to celebrate narrative games while also hoping you'll discover your next favourite. Not only are there demos, but discounts on a number of games and panels are held on Steam from developers and publishers from the featured games. I'll leave a link to the LudoNarraCon website in the description. Coming up, we feature 5 of our favourite LudoNarraCon demos. Plus, we will also take a look at some of the other games that were taking part that we feel should be on your radar. With all that said, let's get into the featured demos. Battlesuit Aces comes to us from the same developers of Battle Chef Brigade, and you can tell. Featuring the same anime animations, visuals and strong writing, Trinket Studios are once again mashing genres together with a strong intriguing narrative. This time is deck building. Help to control characters in strong mechs. You are out to defeat the Frenzied, who are threatening humanity. Each fighter has a particular move that could or could not benefit the battle, with each taking a numbered amount of gems. With support cards upgrading, recruitment and crafting also included, this one is deep in features but never overwhelming. The demo showcases most of these features, different ways to battle and usage of abilities. Battle Chef Brigade was a great indie gem when that released back in 2017, and I can see Battlesuit Aces being exactly the same. I've been keeping an eye on this one since I discovered it a few months ago. Set in an apartment in Berlin, you follow different occupants through a series of different eras. In the demo, we get to experience the flat in 1933 all the way to 2020. Each era has different mechanics. For example, in 1933, you are moving and need to find some items on a packing list, learning about the person's life as you go. And in 1989, you need to be watering plants and making paper aeroplanes to send to an opposite apartment. What I found playing the demo was that I found myself already reminiscing on the changes to the apartment from the different years, and that spoke volumes to me. The visuals looked like a lot of time had been spent on making them shine, with a noticeable grain to them, and everything was voice acted. The Berlin apartment has been one of my most anticipated games of 2025, and that hasn't changed after playing this demo. I can't wait to experience the full game when it releases later this year. In inKonbini, you've been roped in to help your auntie by working a night shift at her Japanese convenience store in the third-person single-player simulation game set in the early 1990s. Amazingly named the Honky Ponky store, you have to effectively run the store by stocking shelves, tidying up the store, making sure items are facing the correct way, and running the checkout, which includes giving out the right change. You'll also have to help customers find particular items and listen to their well-written stories. Having been to Japan myself, I can only say that this has captured everything I experienced from a Japanese store, from the meticulous way everything is presented to the over-enthusiastic service. The panging to return to Japan returned heavily in me while playing. This was not on my list for 2025, but after checking out the demo, it's definitely on there now, and I'll be there day one when this finally gets launched. Another game that was not on my radar until LudoNarraCon was Schrodingers Call, a single-player visual novel action game. Here you play Mary, who has no recollection of ending up where she is. Sitting down by a phone, she is welcomed by a talking black cat, and when the phone starts ringing, it tells Mary to pick it up. And what's discovered is that the moon has crashed into the earth, killing the human population. Mary can hear all the souls that cannot die through the phone, and she needs to help them with their regrets and grief to move on. To do this, you have to select responses to questions, and when a soul is narrowed down, you need to listen to and select the correct answers to progress the story. Told through a striking and sometimes hit to your senses visuals, I was captured from the start. Everything is so mysterious and dark that when everything is brought together, it truly is an unforgettable experience. This is my standout demo of the festival, and I hope we don't have to wait long for its full release. Tiny Bookshop sees you moving from your busy life to a scenic seaside town for a new life. You bring along your mobile bookshop and set up each day to sell your books to the locals and tourists. Spread out throughout each day, you'll be visited by a number of people looking for their next read. This is mostly automated, with the NPCs picking the books themselves, but sometimes you'll be asked for help. and need to choose the right book to gain another satisfied customer. At the start of each day, you'll have to stock your shelves with the right genres, taking in financial figures from previous days to help you decide on which you need to stock more of. In the demo, I was also introduced to different locations. More opened up as I talked to the locals, and it becomes an important factor, as if you pitch at the wrong location, then you're not going to earn as much that day. This is mostly decided by the weather forecast, so if it's going to be a wet day, then going to the seafront probably won't work out. The weather forecast is held within the local newspaper, which gets delivered to you every day. Apart from the forecast, there's also classified listings helping you to buy new stocks of books and items to decorate your shop. That's right, you can also decorate with signs, plants, tables and all sorts of items which will gain you extra benefits. Tiny Bookshop is promising to be a true, cozy and wholesome experience, one that I was surprised I enjoyed so much, and I'm looking forward to seeing what else it has up its sleeve in the full game. Our last demo looks at an issue that many people face on a daily basis, but one that most people do not realise is happening. In a week in the life of Asocial Giraffe, a point-and-click adventure, you help our giraffe friend avoid social interactions to get through the day. This could be the simple task of buying a drink or opening the door to receive a package from the post person. Each scenario holds a puzzle that you'll have to solve to move on. In the demo, to open a door to the post person involved me having to control a robot to receive the parcel. If you do engage in conversation, the giraffe will start to panic and be overwhelmed with anxiety. Then the giraffe's head will literally explode and you'll have to start that stage again. Told through gorgeous art that would be at home in a young child's storybook, Asocial Giraffe is actually pointing out a problem that many live with. Being overwhelmed with emotions from social interactions is an invisible issue that many don't take seriously. I'm really glad that Quail Button have attempted to highlight it. I wasn't sure about the game when I started it up, but I'm so glad I did. The puzzles were inventive and I love looking at the lovely visuals. And this one is certainly now firmly rooted on my list of games to play in 2025. Alright, with the demos out of the way, let's just take a look at a few of the full games that are taking part in the LudoNarraCon festival. The Horror at Highbrook is an occult card crafting narrative RPG. Guide a team of occult investigators to investigate the disappearance of a noble family. Keep your team well equipped and safe from hunger, injury, madness and disease. Each member of this motley crew offers their own unique skills to aid you with your quest, but they also harbour their own secret ambitions. The Horror of Highbrook is out now on Steam. Two Falls has been out for quite a few months now, though I haven't seen much chatter about it, hence why it's being featured in this year's LudoNarraCon. We reviewed this back at the end of November 2024 and our reviewer had a wonderful time with it. Set in 17th century wilderness of Canada, we follow Jean, a French woman who crossed the Atlantic to start over, and Maycan, an Innu hunter trying to discover what's been disturbing the forest. Told through a first-person perspective, you alternate between the two protagonists and experience their stories and how they eventually come together. The wilderness has been recreated with much love and realism, making you feel that you're really in the sticks with nobody around for miles. I also love how the game depicts Jean and Maycan, with both having separate visual styles and music, with the story dipping into each's vastly different cultures, faith and historical inspirations for the narrative. Two Falls not only educated me with life back then, but also entertained me through the game's choice-driven conversation. Two Falls is worthy of your time and is out now on Steam. As Kulebra, you'll explore Limbo, a vibrant Latin American flavoured afterlife full of danger, intrigue, humour, sneakery and deep dark mystery. You'll be using many tricks and skills to help the colourful residents of Limbo accept and embrace their issues of loss, trauma and the consequences of not letting go as they repeat their days again and again. Use your wits, kindness and maybe a good whack to gather clues, items and evidence that will help the residents of Limbo move on. We fell in love with Kulebra and the souls of Limbo when we first laid our eyes on it. The vibrant colours just jump out at you and we could tell this might be a special game through the funny and witty dialogue that we experienced in the demo. Although its premise may not be the most original concept out there, everything else we've seen makes us believe this will be one not to miss. Keep Driving is a car management simulator based in the early 2000s. Set on a road trip to various locations, pick up hitchhikers, get through obstacles and manage your trunk space, all while listening to an amazing indie soundtrack. Keep Driving is one of our games of the year. It does everything right, from its unique visuals down to every mechanic. The little touches are amazing, like choosing what types of parents you have, which will alter how they help you when you're in a situation. We reviewed this back in February, and our reviewer had this to say about it. Keep Driving truly evokes the romantic image of what an American road trip might be like. Driving your very first car, following where the road leads you, and meeting interesting characters along the way. This game is just such a joyride. Keep Driving is out now on PC. Citizen Sleeper 2 is also one of our games of the year, and I'll be shocked if it's not at least a couple of the So Many Games crew's top game. We return to the Starwood Belt to experience a new Sleeper story. Halfway through a reboot, you have to escape, and in the process your memories are wiped. What leads is a masterclass in narrative storytelling, introducing you to many interesting and mysterious characters as you work your way across the belt in search for escape. With mostly a simple design on the outside, there's so much happening under the hood, and with the game's unique tabletop style gameplay, it is nothing you've played before. Well, only if you haven't played the first Citizen Sleeper. But what makes this game so special though is through the writing. The whole game is told through this, and you'll be taken aback at the end on how well you know each character and the emotions that you'll experience as they go through the traumas set out for them. With many other systems added from the first game, there really isn't anything else out there like this, and it's worthy of your time even if it doesn't look like your cup of tea. Citizen Sleeper 2 is out now on PC and consoles. Well, that's it for this video. I hope we've introduced you to some new games or just reminded you of some of the best of the year. Let us know in the comments, and if you took part in LudoNarraCon, we'd love to know about it. Please don't forget to check out somanygames.co.uk for all our written reviews, and until next time, happy gaming.